everybody, it's me, Hetty, and right now I am hand-holding the camera. I'm going to be going back and forth from the table to the skillet, so I'm just going to show you my ingredients really quick. I am doing a double recipe, okay? So having said that, I have 8 pieces of bacon. If you've got a smaller family, you want to cut this in half. I've got 4 pounds of parboiled red potatoes. I have 3 just smallish medium onions diced up fine. I have 48 ounces of sauerkraut. I did not drain it. There was no need to. There was hardly any liquid, and I don't need to rinse it. So over here I have 2 tablespoons of caraway seeds. I have a quarter cup of brown sugar, and yes, we make my brown sugar. I have 4 pounds of, I had to go with Bratwurst because that's really all they had. But there's so many good sausages you can choose from. And these apples are very small, so I'm going to use about 3 of those diced up. Okay, well, this is a really bad camera angle and I'm holding the camera, so I'm going to move over to the stove. We're going to start with the bacon. All right, see you in a minute. Here are the sausages. You can use any good quality German sausage. Stores were kind of picked over, so I ended up having to get Bratwurst. But there are many, many good German sausages to choose from. And all I did is I covered these in water and I boiled them for about, I don't know, 15 minutes. I've drained them and now I'm letting them cool down, and then we'll slice them. Similar to how I did my Italian sausage video, the way I did that. All right, I just wanted to fill you in on this step. Okay, obviously, first things first, in goes the bacon. And I'm just going to saute this off. And I'm going to use the grease I get from this. Oops, sorry about the tripod. It's kind of in the way. It's tight in this corner. I'm working on a better setup, but not there yet. Got to get through the rest of the holidays first. Then we'll get down to business, won't we? I'll figure something out. Okay, so, like I said, first things first, I'm going to just cook the bacon bits. I've shown you how to do bacon bits. I didn't have any more in the freezer because I made some dip with some. So, having said that, I'm doing some more, but if you want, I will put a link down in the description box. And as always, people, I get these comments. I get rude comments once in a while. It says, "You're not saying how much you put." Well, 9 times out of 10, once in a blue moon, y'all know that I do go over the ingredients in the beginning. I always do. Maybe some really, really old videos I didn't, but I always put, it didn't dawn on me for a long time when I started the channel that people just don't bother reading the description. And if y'all know me, or if you're new to me, or this is the first video of mine you're even watching, then by all means, I do not mean this rude. It's just I've said it till I'm blue in the face. I know it's not getting everybody, and like I said, I don't mean this rude, but always, 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 down below in the description is the instructions, the ingredients, alternative ads that I might not mention or put in the pot, on the stove, or anywhere. If I'm overcooking at the Hey Hetty table, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I don't give alternatives, but believe me, they're there. So, okay. Or sometimes when I'm tired, I might miss 1 or 2 that I know are really good, and I don't make some recipes the exact same way. And you know, I've told y'all so many times, you know, I had to adapt my hands and stuff like that to cooking. And before I made a video, I have to sometimes actually go through step by step like I've never cooked it before, because I don't have exact ingredients. It's in the neighborhood of. If there's something you don't like, leave it out. Or if it's something you do like, you can add a little more. So, you know, always, if you're on a salt-restricted diet, by all means, cut down. So, anyway, on with the bacon. I'm going to hush rambling. I just want to get the video started. When this is done, I'll bring you back for the next step. Just took bacon bits up. As you can see, they're all perfect. I've got my grease left over. I got my pans hot, and in goes, moving on, putting in the sausage. Now, as I told you earlier, Oops, sorry, bumped the tripod again. I apologize for that. As I was saying to you in the shot where I did boil these sausages, not for long, and then I let them cool, and then I sliced them up. Now, I like to slice mine thin, you see? Then, instead of getting huge hunks, you get a little bit in every single bite. That's my way I do it. If you like them in hunks, put them in hunks. I'm just showing you how I do it. So now I've got my bacon grease in here. There's going to be a little grease let off of browning these. So moving on, I'm going to brown these, and I'll bring you back when I have taken them up and ready to put the onions in, because the onions will go next. I'll see you in a minute. Couple of minutes. I wanted to say something to y'all real quick. Now, you know, I boiled these off, so they're basically done, okay? But I love the browning of them. It really adds something to a dish. Look how pretty they look. They'll look great in the dish. But also, I just love the crispiness of makes that little crust on there when you brown them, okay? So, if you can, try not to skip that step. I understand if you're on a time crunch, but it doesn't take that long. It's taking me longer just because I'm making a double recipe. But it wouldn't take you long at all. Okay, I'm going to take these up. We're moving on to the onions. I'll be right back. I did take up the sausage, browning the sausage did render more grease. I took it up. I strained it just because I'm doing things in stages. If I was just doing half recipe, I wouldn't have to worry about all that. And I'm videotaping, so it takes a little longer to get stuff done. All right, now I've got my fire back on, and in go the onions. Pan's still hot. And obviously, you've seen me saute onions a million times. And I cut these small, so I knew they'd saute a little faster. I'm only going to go about maybe 3 or 4 minutes on this, and then we'll combine everything. Okay? Alrighty. Potatoes are done. In goes my potatoes. I mean, onions are done, in goes potatoes. I can talk. All right. I'm going to stir these down. I'm going to let them go for just about a minute or so, and then in goes the kraut and my other ingredients. Matter of fact, nothing's stopping me from actually adding in my other ingredients. So there's my 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and in goes my caraway seeds. Okay, and I'm going to stir this down, and I'm going to let this go a couple minutes after I stir it thoroughly, and then in goes my sauerkraut. If you're used to rinsing your sauerkraut, you can. Some have a lot more liquid than others. I'm using a German jarred brand, and it just didn't have a whole lot of brine in it. So, you know, and that way I don't add salt to anything. You got your Bratwurst too, which is a little on the salty side. So all of it together, I've made it, and it is always good. All right, I'll bring you back. These have been going for in between 3 and 4 minutes, and now in goes the kraut. All right, I'm going to stir this in well. I'll show you in a minute. Let me just do that off camera. Much easier. Or I'll knock this camera tripod over. P.S. Putting the lid on at this point. Now, I'm going to go. I don't peel my apples to the last. I'm going to let this go for a few minutes with the lid on. I will probably stir it once or twice. And then the sausages go in, and then the apples last. And then we'll just get it heated through. Most everything's cooked already. I'm going to give the apples time to soften and get mixed in down and cook down a little bit. And then we'll be ready to go. Okay, off to chop the apples. I'm going to dice them really thin. You'll see. Okay, I also wanted to mention, I added about a 1/4 cup of water, a little bit, but it's still a little on the dry side for me because remember, we're going to simmer this for a few minutes after I add everything back in. But you got to remember, like I said, by the time everything is going back in, and you know it won't take apples long to cook at all. I mince them so small. And I don't do it till the last because you don't want them turning brown on you. Now, I'm going to also tell you, if it's a quick weeknight, you could put, per 2 pounds of sausage, about a cup of applesauce. And that would do quite as well too, and it would give moisture. All right, so I'm going to stir this in. I'm going to give it all a stir. In goes the bacon bits. Back in. And I'm going to tell you something else. You can prep this. Why not prep it? You could parboil your potatoes, let them cool, put them in a bowl, cover them, put them in the fridge. Peel them, have them diced, whatever, ready to roll. You know, you could have your, you could have your bacon bits. Now, if you're a regular watcher of mine, you know, I usually have some in the freezer. So this time I didn't, and I always have bacon grease in the fridge. Anyway, my sausage, it's awkward for me to put. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. Let's see if I can. Boink. Yeah, it went in. All right, but I'm gonna have to stir this down. I don't want to stir anything out on the stove because I'm good at that naturally. So let me stir it in and I'll bring you back when I put the lid on. Okay, here's the lid. But I'm going to tell you, I did add 1 more cup of water because the amount of water I gave you was for a single batch, okay? So now I've been cooking this on medium high, and now I'm going to cut it down to a medium. This is not something you need to walk off. You need to come back and stir it, okay? So I've got to stir that water down in there that I just poured in, and you can see it right here. And I'm going to stir it in, then on goes the lid. And I'll bring you back when it's done. It's already hot and bubbly, isn't it? But now I want to get it heated all the way through and give those apples a minute to cook down. One more mention, I don't have any. I used up the rest of my red and yellow bell peppers. I probably wouldn't have used yellow. I would have preferred red. And I just used up all my green bell peppers on a roast. So I made fajitas and used up the red and made roast. And I forgot and didn't chop one up in time, so I'm leaving it out. But a red or green bell pepper would give it a little color, and it'd be really good. Also, fresh ground pepper to taste, but I'll do that at the end. Oh, one more thing. I hit stop record before I thought to mention this. Listen, another thing is you can do everything else and don't do the potato part. Cook it down and everything, get it ready, and on the side, just make mashed potatoes. And you can serve it on mashed potatoes too. I do it both ways. But this year I'm doing it this way. And usually we have it on New Year's Eve because in the area where my husband's from, that's kind of how they do it. It's kind of like a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It's not as traditional as, say, black-eyed peas and cabbage in the South, or sometimes collards. But anyway, I don't want to ramble, so I'm going to move on. I just wanted to mention that. You can use mashed potatoes. All right. All right, y'all. Would you look at that? Y'all, this is so good. We just eat it in a bowl. It's like a 1-bowl meal. You can do it other ways if you want to, but that's just how we do it. We just eat it in a bowl. It's so great. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll try this. You can tweak it. I'll put some additional stuff down below here and there and show you some stuff maybe I didn't mention or forgot to mention. A lot of times I just forget, y'all. I don't use a script or anything, so it's just me talking off the top of my head while I'm talking. So that's why sometimes I forget stuff. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm ready to go eat. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. And I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. And thanks for watching.